Hey, welcome back. I was going to introduce my guest, John Burnett, but he just introduced himself. I didn't get to that shot. Every single day on Liquid Lunch, we do a magic trick that no other TV show on television does. We bring on a Republican, a Democrat. Neither one of them is paid. We throw out the topics of the day. They mix it up. I have a drink. At the end, no matter what, we have a thoughtful conversation. We shake hands and we part friends. These guys are friends of each other. They're friends of the show, friends of mine. And guys, thank you for coming in to mix it up again. We tried to get that Corey Lewandowski video in the first segment. But anybody who follows the news like you guys, like us, I always say we like to have the people that know where the rubber meets the road. That's you guys, David Eisenbach and Johnny Burnett, been on the show many times. Corey, I thought, had a backbone yesterday, that he went in there and said, okay, you want to see me? I'll come on down. And he sat there, and I think he made a fool of Gerald Nadler, much like many of these other people who have come before him, and he comes away empty every time. Absolutely. These things aren't hearings. Why? Because all these congressional leaders do is hear themselves, right? For the most part, they're there to read their statements, to get their points across. Why? Because they want sound bites. They want the optics of beating up, anyone who supports Trump. And I give it to Corey. He actually stood up for himself, but he also stood up for, for the American people. Yeah. They work for us. We shouldn't be coming in, right, to try to be, beat up by these congressional leaders. And I'm glad he stood up for himself. And, he set the tone possibly for the future when other Republicans come in. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. And, David, you're not only you're a professor at Columbia, but you're also our in-house presidential historian. And Corey cited this kind of unique White House privilege thing. Yeah. How common is that? Well, it's very common. Whether it's actually legit is the debate. But as far as what happened yesterday, people saw what they wanted to see. If you want to see Donald Trump impeached, you saw obstruction on the part of Corey and the Republicans on the committee. If you don't want Donald Trump impeached, you saw a clown show. That's right. And so, what did you see? I saw a clown show. You saw a clown show? I want Donald Trump impeached, but I saw a clown show. I think that with us? Well, what I am saying is that the politics of yesterday were bad for the pro-impeachment people. That Nadler looked like he did not have control. He didn't have control of the committee, and they didn't get anything out of him that's going to propel the impeachment process forward. Says my good friend and distinguished gentleman from Manhattan, Democrat David Eisenbach, agrees with all of us. It was a clown show. Thank you. Or a house party. Frankie, you don't usually get in the mix it up. You usually go in the back. I'm excited about this fourth chair, although I would like to be napping. We were here on the air and we didn't carry much of the hearing, so I didn't see much of it. But it's difficult for me to see where it's going. I mean, if they're going forward towards impeachment, I don't see how yesterday's hearing really advanced the ball forward at all. It just strikes me as a tremendous distraction. A lot of real problems facing the country right now, and I don't see what good it did. And I want to congratulate John Burnett on being named by the New York State Republican Party as the co-chairman of the new Public Affairs and Policy Committee. So congratulations. I'll drink to that with myself. Johnny, congrats. The way I look at it, the one thing that I think people, even if they didn't love Trump, the thing they loved about him was that when he went with something, he stuck with something. Rather than back down and put up another justice like in the Kavanaugh thing, he doubles down. He's loyal to people. And he goes, you know what, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to pull this guy back and put up another judge. I'm going to double down. And that's my guy. And Corey Lewandowski seems like he's cut from the same cloth that, you know what, I'm not going to go in there and start throwing my guy here, the president, to the wolves. And I'm going to double down. You want to hold me in contempt? Bring it. Does contempt even mean anything? Do they do anything? Well, politically, the problem is that if they were going to impeach Trump, they should have done it right after Mueller submitted his report and just gone with the report. Now we're dragging it out. It's now going to be in the middle of an election, all right, that we're going to have an impeachment. And the fact of the matter is Nancy Pelosi didn't want this impeachment from the beginning, right? But Jerry Nadler is pretty much committed to it, as are a majority of the Democrats. So the Democrats have a real political problem here. Absolutely. Well, the thing is that President Trump, he actually surrounds himself with smart people like Corey, like Kellyanne, Also, they're fighters, just like President Trump. Don't back down. They know how to handle the media. They know how to handle Congress. They know how to handle everyone else and get a message out to the forgotten men and women across this nation. Now, with respect to actually, David and I agree that the timing was after the Mueller report. But you know what? The Mueller report was what? A shocker.
That's right.
No collusion.
Well,
right.
But they wouldn't have gone on the collusion issues. It would have been on the obstruction of justice issues, which they would have a case in terms of impeachment.
Yeah,
right.
but
no crime, no obstruction is kind of like
exactly.
at the bottom.
Not exactly.
At the bottom,
not exactly. You can actually
that.
be guilty of a crime covering up a non-crime.
But it looks
Really?
like they're actually trying
sure.
to fish.
What's that?
They look like they're trying to fish with no bait and no.
Look, it's a political question. They had a window. The window closed.
Here's a political question. Of all the talk from Jerry Nadler and Schiff and all these other guys, at the Democratic debates last week, not a mention of the word impeach, not a mention of the I word. But yet, now they're talking about impeaching Kavanaugh, which is the craziest thing ever.
Oh, gosh.
Why are we going to impeach a judge on a story that says this woman, someone else says a woman saw Kavanaugh flash her or wave some body part at her, and she herself says, I don't remember this, but they want to impeach a judge now, new impeachment.
Well, David speaks for all Democrats.
Oh, please. I don't want to hear that. Come on.
Yeah, you see? Burnett was all Mr. Nice Guy. He can get along with Dave.
Right.
He can talk
just sandbagged me right here.
But now that he's in charge of public policy for the New York State Republican Party, it's not going to be so easy for you no more on this show, my friend.
Look, the Democrats need to get off this subject for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is we got a lot more worse things to worry about than something that happened 20 years ago.
They can't talk about the economy, so what they're doing is recycling dead ideas.
Yeah, it's not good politics.
That's for sure. Yeah, I'm curious what your take was on the Israeli election yesterday. It looks like Netanyahu is probably out, longest-serving prime minister in history, on the way out.
Well, Israeli elections are special because this is the beginning of a political process where they now have to wheel and deal to see who can form a government. Netanyahu may not be out, right? He and his main competitor, Gantz, have about equal share. The question will be, can they form a coalition with the non-religious parties and move Israel in a new direction? The religious parties were the big losers yesterday.
Johnny, final word.
This is the wrong time, especially given the fact that we just had the Saudi Arabia's oil fields attacked. We don't know what's going to come about with respect to Iran. This is the wrong time for a change of leadership. I hope Bibi actually retains his power and make sure he moves forward with trying to figure out a peace plan. I know Jared Kushner and President Trump want to move forward to make sure that they bring some level of peace through economic collaboration.
Well,
so I think a change of leadership right now is not in the best interest for Israel.
Scary
and yet
times.
the Israeli people looks like they've had enough of Bibi, and so have I.
Okay. Well, I've never got enough of these two guys on the show, and we never get enough of you being right there from 12 to 2 Eastern every day. I want to thank John Burnett. Congratulations on your new appointment. David Eisenbach, thanks for being here with us. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Jerry Kassar, the head of the New York State Conservative Party. We're going to go even further right after this. Take a quick break. Liquid Lunch back in a minute. Awesome.
Great. Cool.
Awesome.
Great.